things are starting to wrap up here on the progressive levels for the movement or the tension chains here in grind style calisthenics. Last video, we talked about the flexion chain or the abdominals in the anterior chain. Now we're going to the back side of the body and we're talking about the posterior chain, aka the extension chain, and the 6 levels we can use to really effectively work it. So first step is a little bit of a doozy. This is basically the reverse plank or the seated hip extension. Hands are down behind your hips and you drive your hips upwards with your glutes and hamstrings. Now this admittedly may be a little bit overzealous of a first step. Some people may have a little bit of trouble with this. One of the telltale signs that any of these exercises are being overloaded is if you have a lot of stress or strain in your lower back. While your muscles along your spine and lower back play a supportive role, most of what you should feel working are, of course, your hamstrings and your glutes. So if you don't feel that and you feel it more in your lower back, regress this with bent knees and go with more like what I call a table bridge. But the first level is this slant bridge or the seated hip extension. The next progression is the cross ankle hip extension. So what we're doing is we're bringing more of the resistance onto a single leg, so the hamstrings and the glutes on that side are working a lot harder. You'll also be working your inner thigh hamstrings a little bit more and creating a little bit more of an upper back challenge for the stability because you're driving more weight onto that one leg. You can also micro adjust the resistance on this by where your assistance leg is on your shin. The closer it is to the ankle, the easier it is. Moving your foot up closer towards the knee makes it more difficult and challenging. Level 3 is the single leg seated slant bridge. So same thing, the other leg is just sticking straight out. It doesn't really lift up like you're kicking it upwards, it just kind of stays straight out and it moves up and down in time with the motion of your hips. The next 3 levels are the same exact exercise, only now you're using the grind straps or some sort of suspension trainer where you can put your feet and heels in the suspension. So of course, level 4 is doing it with straight legs. Then of course, level 5, you're now with the cross ankle strategy yet again. Don't forget that you want to make sure that you're doing the same number of reps on each side. And it's also beneficial to alternate which side you're going to start with. So maybe in your workout log or something, note that, okay, did it on the left side for the first few sets in this workout, so then in the next workout you start on the right side. Keeps it a little bit more even. And then of course level 6 is the single leg suspended hip extension. Much more difficult than it looks, but it's definitely a very safe way to work your entire extension chain and work your glutes and hamstrings to a very high level of resistance. So there you go, 6 levels of progression in the grind style system for the extension chain. Last but not least video is coming up next, which is the 6 levels for the lateral chain, which we'll be getting to here in a minute. But in the meantime, you can check out these videos for more on grind style calisthenics. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the little notification bell because I got a lot more of these videos coming in the next several weeks on how to build muscle and strength with simple, low, technically challenging calisthenics moves. As always, questions and thoughts down below are appreciated. Talk to you next time. Till then, be fit, live free.